Now Harris out here looking like Wilt Chamberlain in his prime when it comes to scoring the basketball. But on the other hand, the men Bulldogs, these suckers bamboozled us. Coming up in 40 seconds. Boy, oh boy. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of wait for it, Bowie State Sports Talk. Happy New Year's, Merry belated Christmas. I think it's gonna be uploaded before MLK Day, so it's gonna be uploaded today, which is today's Thursday. So happy future upcoming MLK Day. If you're not watching this, before. Any long story short, happy holidays, New Year's, Merry Christmas, MLK Day. If you're watching this after Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day. Now you're watching this, happy holidays to you. Y'all can see, kinda, I got the green screen behind me. But y'all can't see the green screen, y'all see my hand glowing up, green. Because I got a green screen, but I don't have no light for the green screen. That's why things look pretty sloppy and on the screen look pretty blurry. Like when you watching cable. Like you unplug your cable cord and that screen just pop up. That type of thing. That's why I was looking like that, because I do not have a light for the green screen to go behind the green screen. So I'm working on that. I'm broke. I don't know when I'm going to get it. Cause it costs money, and money is not something that I have. So for now, bear with me. Cool. And this probably gonna be the best time. This probably gonna be the best I can get it looking, because right now it's 2:17 p.m. I normally record these episodes around 6 or 7 when they get dark early. So I do got light behind me from the outside, compared to if I record this on Sunday when I get off of work, I'm gonna have no light outside. So this is probably the best it's gonna look until I actually get some a lamp or something to put behind me, to put behind the green screen. So bear with me. I'm struggling. Bear with me. But before we get started, make sure you like this video. Subscribe. I'm still in the Club Shay. That man getting 7,000 subscribers per second. I just want to hit 250 subscribers. So like the video and subscribe. It's free to do. Stop being stingy. With that being said, let's get started. It's probably gonna be the longest episode that I had of Bowie State Sports Talks. That's not considered an interview, because my first interview with Jeffrey started to him was probably 50 minutes to an hour long. I doubt this episode will be that long, because let me see. My PC is on 52%, and it's just 38 minutes until it dies. So let's see if I can break that 38 minute, get it done before 38 minutes. Starting now. The Lady Bulldogs, they are now 10-6. You heard that right, 10-6. This is a great start for them. Haven't seen this from them in a long time. But the first game that they had that happened after my last episode was against Johnson C. Smith at home, which they lost that game 59-66. This was their first home loss of the season, and I was color commenting that game. And one thing that I said this game was going to be was the battle of the Harrises.
And so, Jalen, who are some players to watch tonight?
I got 4 players to watch. You ready? So my first players are offense, the battle of the Harris. Anaya Harris for Bowie State. She's the leader scorer for the CIAA. She averages 19.6 points per game. I'll start there. And Sierra Harris for Johnson C. Smith. She averages 16.7 points per game, and she averages the 5th most points in the CIAA.
Bowie State point guard Anaya Harris, who we will talk about later. At that time, and at the time of today, she averaged the most points in the CIAA. Johnson C. Smith point guard, Sierra Harris, she averaged the fifth most points in the CIAA. And like I predicted, the battle of the Harris is exactly what happened in that game. Anaya Harris, she led all scorers with 28 points. That was her career high at that moment. She beat that career high later on in another game. We'll talk about that game later on. And Sierra Harris, she had 21 points. And I gotta give Sierra Harris her flowers. She was doing stuff that you don't see on the stat sheet. She drew like 4 charges. And those were some critical charges. Like, they were charges early in the game. How often do you see people put their body on the best player on the team put their body on the line? Definitely early in the game. Let alone an early regular season game. That doesn't really matter. If this was like the playoffs, okay, cool. Because playoffs are like win or go home, I think. It's not like 7 games like the NBA. I think it's you either win. Yeah, it's like win or go home. So if this is the playoffs, you draw a charge in the first quarter, cool. You try to win or go home. But that was like the maybe like what the I want to say 12th regular season game, maybe like the 8th regular season game of the season. She out here putting her body on the line like off rip. So props to her, flowers to her. But back to the real Harris, not Harris, Bowie State Bulldog Harris. Although she finished the game with 28 points and 20 shots, to me, she was too passive to like start this game. She passed the ball on shots that she would like normally take. I think if she was aggressive from the get-go to start the game, Bowie State would have won this game. And it's like once she realized nobody but her was scoring, that's when she started becoming more aggressive. Like, let me tell y'all how terrible the scoring was from the Bulldogs. In the second quarter, the Bulldogs got outscored 23-9. Can you guess who was responsible for all of those 9 points? Did you say Anai Harris? Well, you're right. She scored 7 of those 9 points, and she assisted on 2 of those 9 points. Entering halftime, only 3 Bulldogs scored a point. Meanwhile, I think like 5 or 6, maybe even 7 Golden Bulls, Johnson C. Smith players scored a point. And like not only that, but in the first half, the Bulldogs shot 1 for 7 from deep. And can you guess who the only Bulldog that hit a 3-pointer is? You said Anai Harris? No, you didn't. You lying. Anai Harris was the only one who hit a 3-pointer in the first half.
With the ball now, Harris with 5, Harris with 4, with 3, Anai Harris 4-3, and she got it. Anai Harris taking over.
And that's only her second 3 of the season. Entered this game, she was 1 for 16 from 3. They'll make that 2 of 17 now.
And with all due respect, from everybody that's she's like the worst 3-point shooter on the team. That's not a big. Why do y'all think she doesn't take many threes? All her paints are inside the 3, whether it's at the free throw line. I mean, all her points are inside the 3, whether it's at the free throw line, mid range, or in the paint. She rarely takes threes. Like the 3 that she hit against Johnson C. Smith in this game was like a shot clock 3. Shot clock winding down, had to make something shake. She put it up, bang, it dropped. Bulldogs went 1 for 7 from the 3-point line entering half. And she was the only person that hit that 3 in the first half. That's sad. She's like the worst shooter. Oops, move that. See, one thing that's happening right now is that I do have the TV on in front of me, so that's giving that some light. But I like letting it happen. Move on. What I was talking about Anai Harris, right? She's the worst shooter on the team. That's not a big. I'm gonna just leave it there. As bad as the second quarter sounded, the Bulldogs really had a chance to win this game. They ran on, I think, a 5-0 run to make it a 3-point game with a minute and 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Then they gave up a 4-0 run the rest of the game. Like, and that run that they went on was like a crazy run. So Anai Harris, she made a layup, got a steal on the inbound. No, her teammate got a steal on the inbound, gave it to her, made another layup. So a quick 4-0 run to cut the lead back down. That's when for the rest of the game, the last minute and like 24 seconds, they failed to score the ball. So it was a terrible second quarter, and nobody was scoring the ball. Nobody was scoring the ball other than Anai Harris. But they honestly still had a chance to win this game. Speaking of winning the game, they turned around and beat Winston-Salem State 58-30 State, holding Winston-Salem to their lowest scoring game of the season. And I knew this, like, I don't think I watched this game live. I watched it on film. So regardless, I knew that the Bulldogs won. But like, now that you're watching it, I knew it was over in the first quarter, when the Bulldogs outscored Winston-Salem 10-1 in the first quarter. I knew it. And a fun fact, no player on Winston-Salem State scored double-digit points. Meanwhile, 3 Bulldogs this game scored double-digit points. So that was a very great game from the Bulldogs. Well-rounded. It wasn't all Anai Harris's game. People did their job. Next, the Bulldogs took on Livingstone and won 68-61. The Bulldogs had another great first quarter as they outscored Livingstone 21-9. And that was thanks to starting the first quarter off with a 14-0 run. That's the largest run that the Bulldogs went on this season. And one thing I loved during that run was that it was multiple people scoring. Not just one person. Multiple people scoring. 4 different Bulldogs scored on that 14-0 run. Then, of course, Anai Harris, she went on to score the last 7 points of the first quarter, which includes another 3, believe it or not. And it wasn't like a shot clock 3, like a shot clock heave 3. It was a catch and shoot 3. But time left on the shot clock. But she still pulled that with all confidence, and it dropped. Flash forward to a minute left in the fourth quarter. Right? Livingstone cut Bowie State lead to 5 points after starting the fourth quarter down 14. Robin Howard of Bulldogs, she hit a three to make that an 8-point lead. And that 3 shot Livingstone in the heart. That was a dagger 3. And there was no better player to take that 3 than her. She was 3 from 5 from deep in this game. Prior to the dagger, she was 3 for 5 from deep. The rest of the team, 2 from 15. So that 3 dagger from Howard shot him in the heart. The rest is history. But anywho, Anai Harris, she finished the game with 21 points. Shot 1 from deep. Like I said, it wasn't no shot clock heave 3. It was a confident catch and shoot. So she finished 1 from deep and 6 for 7 from the free throw line. Robert Howard, she had her best season high, 14 points and 4 from 6 from deep, including the dagger to make it an 8-point game. And a few Bulldogs killed in this game on the rebounding count. Odion, who won Defensive Player of the Week earlier this season and been quiet ever since, and Jayla Urban, they both had 9 rebounds. Sanaya Jackson had 7, and Katera Myers had 13. As a team, the Bulldogs combined for 17 offensive rebounds and 20 second chance points. That was a great game from the Bulldogs. But then they traveled to Florida to participate in the Palm Beach Atlantic Classic. They went 0 for 2. In the first game, where they played Palm Beach Atlantic University, they lost 67-83. But on a good note, of course, you can guess the name I'm about to say. Anai Harris, she scored her career high 31 points in 32 minutes. She could have scored more. She could have, but she fouled out because she fouled 3 times in like a minute and 7 second time span, which caused her to foul out with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Excuse me. She shot 13 for 21 from the field and 5 or 10 from the free throw line. That was her career high. Like I said, that's her first time scoring 30 points this season and her few seasons here at Bowie State. So that was her career high. Like I said, I'm going to get more to her scoring later on this video, so stay tuned. Jayla Urban, she had her second best game of the season at the time, as she scored 17 points, and she only took 2 threes this game. And it's like she realized, you know what, my 3-ball, they're not dropping this season. Let me go inside the 3 rather than live and die by the 3. Because last game against Livingstone, which the Bulldogs did win, she shot 0 for 7 from deep. And like, that's not her only bad shooting game this season. She had plenty of bad shooting games this season. So, like I said, she scored 17 points. And majority of the points was inside the 3-point line. something clicked for her that game. But them two aren't the only two this game. Them two are the only two this game that scored double-digit points. Their next game was against Lynn University. They lost that game 49 to 53. And long story short, the Bulldogs got outscored in the fourth quarter 19-5 to lose this game. Another long story short, they got outscored in the first quarter as well, where they outscored the team in the second and third quarter. But then they got outscored in the fourth quarter. That's basically how they lost this game. After a 10-day break, the Bulldogs went on to face Frostburg University. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the whole game. Like, I was able to watch this game live, so I tried to go back look for film. But Frostburg uploaded highlights on YouTube, right? But it was only Frostburg highlights. It wasn't like Bowie State. Like, you know how if you go to the NBA page and watch NBA highlights, or NFL page on YouTube and watch NFL highlights, they show highlights for both of the teams. But of course, Frostburg only posted their highlights and not Bowie State highlights. So I'm talking about this game based on the stat sheet and not based on film. But based on the stat sheet, the first half was pretty equal. The Bulldogs were hitting shot, so was Frostburg. In the first half, the Bulldogs shot 15 of 32 from the field, while Frostburg shot 16 of 32. The Bulldogs hit 4 threes, while Frostburg hit 4 threes. The only reason the Bulldogs was trailing at halftime, 48 to 37, was because of free throws. The Bulldogs shot 3 of 9 from the free throw line, while Frostburg was 11 for 14 from the line. But then the tables turned in the second half as the Bulldogs started making free throws in the third quarter. The Bulldogs scored 16 in the third quarter. 10 of those 16 points came from the free throw line. 7 of those points came from Anai Harris, of course. And even after all that, they entered the fourth quarter down by 7. They went on a 9-2 run to start the fourth quarter to tie the game 62 to 62. With a minute and 4 seconds left, the game was still tied 72 to 72. The Bulldogs had 3 possessions. They turned the ball over twice, and they missed the layup. So they ended up going to overtime. But the Bulldogs literally played perfect offense. They shot 6 of 6 from the field, 1 of 1 from deep, and 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And before I get the Bowie stat sheet, I do want to give some love to a Frostburg player, Emily Weekly. I wanted to write a story about her at my internship, but she was in Frostburg, Maryland, which is too far from like PG County, I guess. She's averaging, at the time that I did write this, she's averaging 25 points per game this season, scored 40 points twice, and got her first double-double this season against the Bulldogs, as she had 31 points and 13 rebounds. She's killing it, like having a historic season. I looked at some of Frostburg all-time records, and she's in the record book already. She's a freshman, by the way, already in the record book. But okay, that's enough love to her. This is a Bowie State podcast. Let's get back to the Bulldogs. Katara Myers, she had one of her highest scoring games of the season, as she had 17 points and also pulled down 7 rebounds. Maya Smith, Wise Puma alumni, shout out to Pumas. She had her season high 14 points off the bench, hit her career high 3 3-pointers. Anai Harris, once and again, she had 22 points and 3 steals. Now, this is the time that I said it's time for me to talk about Anai Harris. So, I gotta talk about her and her season that she had so far for a bit. Like, it's crazy. Listen, she's on pace to be the first Lady Bulldogs to average 20 points per game in the season since stats were recorded. Like I said, I was only able to go back to as far as like I want to say 2011, 2012, and no other Lady Bulldog averaged 20 points per game in a season. It may have happened in 2010, 2009, 2008, 2007. Like I said, when stats were recorded back to 2012, no Bulldogs scored 20 points per game in a season, or averaged 20 points per game in a season. At the time that I did type this out, she was averaging 20.5 points per game per season, but it dropped down to like 19.8 because of a bad game that she had. We'll talk about that bad game in a little bit. But when she was averaging 20.5 per, when she was okay, let me rewind. Like I said, she's on pace to be the first Bulldog to average 20 points per game in a season since stats were recorded. and the first player in the CIAA to average 20 points per game in the season since the 2018-2019 season. At the time that I did type this out, she was averaging 20.5 points per game, which was the 5th most in Division II basketball and the most in the CIAA. I know she's still averaging the most in the CIAA. I don't know where she ranked at in Division II basketball. And by the way, Emily for Frostburg, she averaged the most in D2 basketball. Okay, anywho, Anaya Harris, she scored 20 points in, at the time I played this, it was 8 out of the 14 games that she played. I think she scored 20 points in 9 out of the 16 games that she played now so far this season. And I would say she's the best offensive player that the Bulldogs had, men or women, since Kaya Proctor. Kaya Proctor, she had 8 20-point games back in 2017 through 2018 and 9 20-point games in 2015 through 2016. She scored 1,392 points in her 4th season combined as a Bulldog. Anaya Harris, at the time that I typed this, she was at 881 points. And she still has games left to play this season, and she still got games left to play next season. And that includes the CIAA playoffs, depending on how far they go. Like, she can add 1 game from the playoffs. She can add 4 games in the playoffs. She still got games left under her belt. I think she can catch that 1,292. Fun fact that I learned by doing some research. Alyssa Dobbs is a lady who leads both the men's and lady Bulldogs with points scored with 2,107 points, which is the 5th most in CIAA women's history, and she averaged 19.3 points per game her career here at Bowie State University. So I thought the young lady I mentioned a while ago, who scored 1,300, was the most points in Bowie State history. Nah, somebody scored 2,107 points. I think this was back in like 2002, 2003. At least that's when she graduated, I believe. That's insane. And as far as the men's side of history, since stats were recorded, Brian Westmoreland averaged 23.4 points per game. He had 21 games with 20 or more points and 6 30-point games back in 2012 to 2013. That's just a few fun facts about Bowie State history. Y'all want to know another fun fact, like random, not related to Bowie State history? Some of y'all may know this name, Earl the Pearl Malone. If you know, you know. He's the all-time CIAA leader in points, as he scored 2,935 points. By the way, this was all with 0 3-pointers taken. He averaged 41.5 points per game in his senior season and led Winston-Salem State to the championship. He scored 1,329, which is 52 points short of Pistol P, who scored the most points in it's like a single season. That's crazy. I know I'm all over the place, but let's get back to the Bulldogs. I said all that about Anaya Harris just for her to turn around and have an absolute stinker, like PU, oh brother, this girl stinks, against Fayetteville. The Bulldogs lost that game 54-71, and she scored a whopping junior whopper 3 points and shot 1 for 10 from deep. 1 for 10 from the field, 0 for 2 from deep, and 1 for 4 from the free throw line. This was her first game this season. She scored single-digit points. And like I said, that dropped her to like 19 points per game. That she had a good game next game to get that point average back up. But on a good note, Jayla Irvin had 22 points. That was her second best game of the season. Her best game was her very next game against St. Augustine. This game against St. Augustine was pretty sloppy to start off, I would say. The Bulldogs started this game off shooting over 6 from deep from the field. They were down 0-8 to start the game, 15-26 at the end of the first quarter, and it somehow got worse in the second quarter. They shot 1 for 11 from the field, 0 for 4 from deep. On a good note, 4 for 6 from the free throw line in the second quarter. And this was directly after they scored 7 points in the second quarter against Fayetteville, by the way. So two stinkers back to back in the second quarter. Crazy. Fortunately for the Bulldogs, St. Augustine also did terrible in the second quarter. They only scored 9 points in the second quarter. So the Bulldogs were down 35-21 in the entering halftime, coming out of halftime. That's only a 14-point deficit. Not hard to come back against. The start of the fourth quarter was also sloppy for the Bulldogs. That 14-point deficit turned into a 19-point deficit 4 minutes into the quarter. But things started clicking for the Bulldogs. Jayla, Sanaya, those three went on a 16-9 run alone to cut that deficit to a 10-point deficit entering the fourth quarter. Then Katara Myers, she came alive at the start of the fourth quarter. She finished the game with 12 points. 8 of those came in the first 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. As her alone, she went on an 8-4 run to cut the deficit to 4 points. She scored 10 points in total in the fourth quarter. That's clutch. 12 points in the whole game, 10 came in the fourth quarter. But the score was 62-63 with 1 minute left. Sanaya Jackson got a defensive rebound, made a full court pass to Robin in the corner. Robin saw Jayla Irvin, who I talked about last game, open at the top of the key. She passed it to Jayla Irvin. Bang! Jayla Irvin hit the three with 54 seconds left to go to take a 2-point lead, 65-63. And prior to that shot, Jayla Irvin was 2 for 8 from deep this game. Like I said, been struggling from deep all season long. She was 20 for 69 from deep, like this whole season before that three. But she still shot the three with like no fear. And I reached out to her at my internship, which I'm gonna talk about in a little bit. I asked her about this game, and I asked her basically like, talk to me about that three that you took, because you were struggling from the field before that three, but you still took that three like with no fear type of stuff, right? She said she wasn't planning on shooting at all during this period of the game. And it's funny because me and my teammate, the one that passed it to me, was talking about it after the game. I was like, yeah, I didn't know I was going to be that open. I was more so ready to run the play, but literally no one was on me. Like I said, she was 2 for 8 prior to that shot, so I don't blame them for not guarding her at the time. So in a sense, I did feel like it was going in. Probably would have gotten in trouble if I missed it though. But no, I feel like my teammates trust me enough to knock those shots down when I'm open. So like I said, she shot that. She was 2 for 8 prior to that, and bang, she hit it. Took the 65-63 lead, 2-point lead, coming back down from. They was down 19 points in the third quarter. Now they're up by 2 with a minute left to go. But the game is far from over. Trust me, far from over. It was like 54 seconds left in the game. That's a long time to score, right? Flash forward to 8 seconds left in the game. Lauren Banks for St. Augustine, she did like a beautiful Euro step to get open, but she missed the open layup. The ball went out of bounds. Last touch by Bulldogs. They had one more shot to win, St. Augustine, with 0.5 seconds left. They took a timeout and drew up a beautiful, beautiful inbound play. Got a wide open layup from the inbound pass and missed it. Bulldogs held on for dear life and won that game 65-63. Like I said, after having a bad game, only like 3 points last game, and now Harris, she bounced back and scored 22 points. Jayla Irvin had 19, which is less than what she had last game, but that big shot is what mattered most. That's why I said this is her best game. But right now, the biggest concern to me about the Bulldogs is the bench. The bench is very inconsistent. In this game, the bench, like in this game against St. Augustine, the bench shot 0 for 6 from the field and 1 for 2 from the free throw line. The bench only produced 1 point through three turnovers and fouled 5 times. How do you foul and turn the ball over more than you score? The bench got outscored 18-1. It is not like it just happened this game and everything was all fine in the other games this season. No, it's been a season-long issue. Like, if you go down their games Like you even got to watch the game. If you just look at the stat sheet, you see what I'm talking about. Like I don't think there's been one game this season where the bench did more than the opposing team. Where Bowie State bench did more than the opposing team bench. I feel like that issue has to be fixed before the playoffs start. Playoffs start on February 27th. Today is January 11th. That I'm recording this video. That's a month and like what 16 days. That's probably like what not a lot more games left to play in the regular season. They gotta get the bench together, man. Like depth. If I'm saying the word correctly, you gotta have a bench. Look at the Phoenix Suns. Everybody said, "Oh man, the big three, they're gonna be a problem." Yeah, those three are a problem. Even though Bradley Beal is struggling right now, but their bench is also a problem for a whole different reason. You need depth. You need a bench. You need more than one or two players scoring the ball. You need it. Look at last year, Elizabeth City State won the championship, CIAA championship. I'm not gonna say they solely won that because of the bench scoring, but the bench scoring played a big role. Their bench outscored the opposing teams in all 4 games of the playoffs, including the championship game. The bench steps up. That matters. So the Bulldogs gotta get that situated before the playoffs start. Now to the men's. The team that bamboozled us. I'm tired of talking about this team losing, so I won't even cover their 3-game losing streak. On a good note, they got their first conference win of the season as they beat Johnson C. Smith 84-71. 5 Bulldogs scored double-digit points, including Kyrie Freeman Davis, who scored the most points of this for the Bulldogs this game. Coming off the bench, he saw 4 from 8 from deep and 7 for 12 from the field. Anthony Carpenter, he had 12 points and 10 assists. This was the best game of the season for him, as it was his first time scoring 10 points or more, hitting multiple threes in the game, and having 10 assists or more. This was also his first time securing or getting a double-double in his 4th seasons here at Bowie State. The Bulldogs took on Frostburg University next. They won that game 80-70. The bench players played like the starters this game, and starters played like bench players this game. Not a single starter scored double-digit points. Warren, he had 20 points off the bench. Very, very, very efficient shooting. 8 for 10 from the field, 2 for 3 from deep, and 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Amir Wimbush, he had 14 points, shot 8 for 8 from the free throw line. The bench scored 49 of the Bulldogs' 80 points. Like I said, not a single starter had double-digit points. And after that game, the Bulldogs went on to go on a 3-game losing streak. Like I said earlier, they bamboozled us. They started this season off like 3-3. That's not great, but that is better than what they've been starting off the previous seasons. So I thought they was going to turn around and be great again. But after that 3-3 start, these hooligans went 3-7. Like, they played 10 games ever since that 3-3 start. And those 10 games, they're 3-7. Probably 3-8. Because they play Shaw University next. And Shaw is a great team. One of the best teams in the CIAA this season. So probably about to be 3-8 after their 3-3 start. Like I said, bamboozled. I thought things were going to be different. I thought things were going to change. I emailed the coach. She was like, things looking good. He want to come on for an interview. Then boom. Back to Route 1 with them losing all the time. But speaking of best, like I said, Shaw University, who the Bulldogs play next, one of the best teams in the CIAA. Speaking of best, you look at the best right here, man. I'm on my way to becoming the best bowler in Maryland. I'm already the best bowler in my family. That wasn't hard to become. But next, the best bowler in Maryland. You know, I scored 200 points in like a few days ago, man. Nothing special. Like that 200 points that I scored wasn't even like with my ball. Keep in mind, I don't have my own ball. Somebody gave me their ball. Pause. And I've been using it ever since. So like let's see. I'll have them show you this first. Let's take a look at this clip.
Congratulations, Slim. Congratulations.
Like I said, 200 man, best bowler in Maryland. Here's the picture of it. If y'all want to say it's fake, here's the picture. I don't like this one because you can't really see like how I played the game. So I'm gonna try out this one, the score sheet. Boom. I started off terrible. 6 points. I bowled a 6 in a gutter. How did that happen? I just have 4 pins to hit. I couldn't even hit one of those pins. So 6 in a gutter, 9 in a gutter. That's understandable because that 9 that I bowled left the 10 pin up, like the 10th pin. And that 10th pin, I'm getting better at hitting it, but that's like my worst enemy. So gutter. After that, I went crazy. Strike, 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 strike. 4 strikes in a row. I think my highest is 4. Like, I cannot get 5 strikes in a row to save my life. So after 4 strikes, I get a 6. So I think it's like the same 6 as this 6 earlier. But I was feeling it. So I got to spare. 141. Strike, strike. 8. And a spare. So I was like, what was that? What was that before that spare? Let me see. Or after that spare, what was I at? I can't even see in the video. Oh well, spare. I think I was at 190. I was at 199. I said, you know what? I'm gonna get 1 pin on purpose. I could have got 209. Got a strike, got 209. But I said I don't want to flex me out too much. I'm gonna say 1 pin on purpose. Hit that 1 pin to get a perfect 200 game. I'm lying. I was aiming for a strike. Like in my head, like if y'all look at the ball, hold on. Like when the ball started, like I threw it perfectly, but the ball started spinning. In my head, I was praying to God that I had at least 1 pin. I thought the thing was going down the drain. But boom, it hit 1 pin. I was so happy, y'all. If I didn't get 200, I probably would have cried. Like I said, I was going for a strike. I was not going for 1 pin. I was going for 10 pins. I just so happened to hit 1. But when that thing was going down the lane, I thought it was going to be a gutter. But God was on my side, and I hit 1 pin. But like I said, if I sit here and spend like $300 on my own custom ball, like y'all psychopaths be doing, number one, I'm going to need somebody to pimp slap me to get some sense back in my head, because I would never do that. And number two, I be putting up like 250 each game. I would average maybe 190. So I would average maybe 190 and have like 250 or more every like 4th game or so, right? Because this game was like my 16th game. And it's not like it's rare. Like let me see, 148. That's nothing. I had like 193 earlier, 193. Like I said, oops. I'm used to these high scoring games. Ain't nothing crazy, man. Like I said, give me my own custom game. Give me my own custom ball, and I'm putting up Will Chamberlain numbers. Like right now, I'm averaging 120 to like 140. But the ball like isn't even mine. And I have a lot of 180 plus games, like 180 through like 197. A lot of those games more often. So give me a ball that's built to my fingertips, that's built to my play style. Like, my birthday coming up, I'm turning 22. So if you want to, cash at me, sell me, feel free to do it. But if you don't do it, I will understand. Cause y'all don't want me to be the best. I don't blame y'all one bit. Y'all don't want to see me be great. Alright. Next. What's next? Oh. Right now, like I said earlier, I was on my internship. Not really an internship, because it was an internship this summer. But I came back this winter on my winter break just to like get more experience, right? This summer I was like editing, doing camera work, helping to set up sets and whatnot. Now I'm doing stuff more related to my career. Like I'm writing scripts, not writing stories, like sports news stories in PG County, and just a little bit more stuff, like going out to shadow the cameraman or the photog and the reporter, learning how they do this, that, and the third. A lot more stuff related to my career. So I wrote like a good 5 or 6 stories so far. They only used 2 of those stories. I'm gonna probably show those 2 at the end of the video if I remember to. I wrote a story about the PG County men's basketball team. and a story about Dorian Strong. I used two of those stories. Of course, like the anchor, the sports anchor, he like reword. He wanted to reword. But I being all the stats, I write this and I write that. He finds the footage. So yeah, it's been a pretty good winter break for me so far. I wrote about, like I said, I wrote about Anai Harris averaging 20 points this season. They didn't use that. I wrote about the Bulldogs coming back from a 19-point deficit against St. Augustine. They didn't use that because I told them the game happened on Saturday, but I told them about it on Wednesday because that Monday was really Commanders Day because that the Commanders fired Ron Rivera. So I figured the sports package on Monday was going to be all Commanders. So I told him about it on Wednesday. And he didn't use it because that the game happened on Saturday. But it's cool though. Anywho, I did not get the chance to show y'all my Grammy award winning acting. Let's talk about that before I get interrupted. Like I said, I didn't get to show y'all my Grammy winning award acting. I've been so busy, having go to episodes like December 14th, December 11th. So this was the final acting assignment for my theater class. By the way, I finished the semester with all A's and 1B, a 3.8 GPA. The B came in this class because that on the stage, I'm Michael B. Jordan. I'm Denzel Washington. I would say Kevin Hart. He can hate right now. I'm every great black actress combined on the stage. On our paperwork for this class, boy, I was dumb as rocks. But I still passed with a B. So 3.8 GPA, all A's, 1B. In the last week, that school for me was just insane. Whew. Don't wish that on anybody. But for this, I'm gonna like show y'all the whole thing when I turn my camera off and start editing, post editing. But I'm gonna just give y'all a little backstory while I was playing on mute. So we got this assignment, me and my partner, him right here. We got this assignment on like the week before Thanksgiving break, and the assignment was due the week after that, like when we come out from Thanksgiving break, right? So we had a good amount of time to prepare for it. How did it go? Hold on. We had a good amount of time to prepare for it, but we did what we did best: procrastinate, right? So the week after Thanksgiving break, that we had our class again was Tuesday. We got our class Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So we came back on Monday. Okay. Look. Basically, right? On Monday, the day before this assignment was due. It's due Tuesday when we go to our class tomorrow. But we met on Monday. So we met on Monday and started practicing our lines and learned our lines for like 3 hours or 2 hours straight. We got our lines down packed. Like we was grinding. Learning our lines, saying what we gonna be, like how we gonna do this, what's the stage gonna look like, da 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 da. So we stayed together on Monday night for like 3 hours practicing our lines. Got that shit down packed. Fast forward to Tuesday, the very next day, it was due. We came in class, nobody else was ready to go. They said, okay, I'm gonna get out to Thursday. Fast forward to Thursday. Thursday came, and she was talking to our class. Class went by, class ended. She said, okay, it's gonna be due Tuesday. Come Tuesday, boom, we did it. But between that Thursday and Tuesday, I went back home to work. Like the lines started slipping my mind. So I was at work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, practicing those lines all day at work. Like I was reading, I was like showing my coworker like, hey, can you play this character while I play myself, practicing the lines, make sure I remember, da 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 da. Cause I learned all those lines in like 3 hours. It was probably 2 hours to be honest. That was not easy. Not easy. Learning the lines, learning his lines. I know what to say after he say what he say. Learning the where I'm gonna be at, what I'm gonna do here, what I'm gonna do there, the props. Whew! And I'm mad. Like y'all see like this on me. I got this from like my closet. I thought it was a cover because the way it was folded. I unfolded it in class. I took out my book bag, and this shit was a freaking pillowcase. So I had to make a pillowcase look like a cover. Boy, I was so pissed off at myself. But it's all good. I still passed. We still got like I want to say a 46 out of a 50. The acting was great. Our teacher loved the acting. I guess it was just the paperwork that we messed up on a little bit. I'm satisfied. Like I said, all A's and 1B. 3.8 GPA, another year, another Dean's List. I'm satisfied. With that being said, I think that's about it, really. Yeah, that's really about it for this episode. Sorry, this is all over the place. Had to go get my laptop charger. Had to go answer this phone call. But, the raggedy green screen behind me, cause no lighting. But look, we still here. A raggedy episode is better than no episode. Like I said, I'm about to show y'all this that y'all watching right now with sound, and I'm gonna show y'all the news thing that I wrote with sound. Hopefully y'all stay and watch and enjoy greatness. Other than that, it's been your boy Big Dog J. I'm out. Come on. Let's get out of here before they find us. Come on.
Where are we going?
We got to go. What? To go. Where am I?
You're in New York. You're having one of them nightmares of yours, some sleepwalking dreams.
Oh, shit.
Probably your conscience beating you. I've been calling you for the last half.
Calling me? For what?
To rise and shine, we've got work to do.
I'm just going back to bed.
You must be kidding.
No, I'm not. Watch me.
Turn the lamp off. You gotta have the lamp on and the shades up too. Only way I can get your ass out of bed. You like you don't got a radio.
You do the same thing every morning.
That's because you do the same thing every morning.
Oh, yeah. Give me a few more minutes, please.
All right. Don't beg me. You know I don't like people who beg. Look, I'm gonna go down to the store, get us some newspapers so we can find ourselves a job.
Right.
Now, which one do you think I should buy? The Times or the News?
You asking my opinion?
I'm feeling liberal today. Well, which one?
Only people that read Times News are train riders and electricians.
Okay, I'll remember that. Now, where are your pants at?
Over there in that chair. Wait, what you need my pants for?
Well, I ain't got no money.
I only got a quarter.
I'll pay you back.
But you already owe me a quarter.
I said I'll pay you back.
You said the same thing as San Antonio.
Look, we're partners, right?
Right.
That means we share everything, right? Right? Okay. Therefore, if you owe me a quarter, I only owe you like what, 12 and a half cents. But if you owe me this quarter, I only owe you a quarter. Come on. A quarter.
You never win when you play things to me. What you do? Just make sure you put the shades down before you go. Will you?
I won't be gone that long, but I'll do it anyway.
Oh, come on. Don't do this to me.
You believe it was a mistake? Really? It was.
Right. Just remember, don't go by the front desk.
Yeah, I won't. Don't worry. Zippity zoo-dah, zippity day. My oh my, what a wonderful day. Sunshine bright, on my way. Zippity zoo-dah, zippity day.
It is a sin and a shame when you do to a song.
As long as you get the picture.
I get the picture. My heart ain't in it, but I get the picture.
It's a little foggy outside, but I think everything will be all right.
Remember, they said that about Titanic.
No, seriously. I feel like everything's going to be just fine. With a little luck here, a little luck there. I think we're going to find ourselves a job.
See.
GCC men's basketball team is currently 10-2 and one of the best teams in the Maryland JUCO Conference. The Owls are currently averaging 91 points a game, and thanks to large part to sophomores Jasir Trimble and Savion Jackson. Trimble is currently putting up 24 points a game, which is the fourth most in the conference. He has also scored 20 points or more in 8 of the 12 games played. And Jackson, who is averaging 21 points per game, has been clutch this year. Most recently in the team's matchup versus Garrett College, where the Owls trailed 84-79 in the final minute and 10 seconds of the game, and Jackson scored the final 7 points, including this game winner, to secure the 86-84 win. You can catch Trimble and Jackson and the rest of the Owls in action next on January 10th when they take the court against Baltimore City Community College. Congratulations to Prince George's County native Dorian Strong for making ESPN's Top 100 College Football Player Rankings of 2023. Strong, who plays cornerback for Virginia Tech, came in at number 80 in this year's list. He had a good season for the Hokies, recording 8 pass breakups, 3 picks, and led the nation in lowest completion percentage.